Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about energy efficiency measures and what those measures are. Uh, this video is going to be last out of 10 videos that I'm going to be doing about current opportunities available up there. With regards to energy efficiency, there are some opportunities by the end of this month and perhaps beginning of next month where there are funding available for companies up there who might be able to come up with a better way of how to measure radiation as well as transportation of hazardous materials, right? So autonomous driving potentially be one of the ways how to think about transportation, but either way. So it's something that companies looking to purchase and they have a lot of finance. Whether a company out there might be interested in solving this problem for its company, that can benefit the company as well as a large group of people. With the filtering system and the way how they measuring radiation right now might be not the best cost-effective way. Perhaps to some of the people out there, if we can solve that problem, they can benefit, to say the least, taxpayers, I guess. I don't know if it's a government company. If you do your own research, you might be able to find more information. Myself, once I start going down this rabbit hole, I've thought about a new way of producing electricity or energy in the first place. That might be the best cost-effective way of doing it. I don't know. But that's just me, right? So let's stick to today's video, and that would be energy efficiency. Energy efficiency measures refer to strategies and technologies designed to reduce energy consumption while maintaining or improving the desired level of performance or output. These measures are essential for reducing energy costs, conserving resources, and mitigating environmental impacts. So let's take a look at some of the energy efficiency measures and how we can improve entire supply chain. Upgrading lighting, replacing incandescent bulbs with energy efficient LEDs or LC lights, turning your lights off. I don't know. That perhaps, depending on the scale, right? Perhaps households, that could be small measures, so small things might make a big difference, as well as perhaps reducing those and or automating everything. So motion detection, perhaps that's one way. Smart houses, I don't know, perhaps, but I don't know. I've been on seminars. On those seminars, well, there will be so many different professionals who might be interested in finding out more about how to improve carbon footprint, and we were wasting our time there. So people already know what they need to do, already know if they can reduce some of those costs. These those seminars is just a waste of time. Installing motion sensors and timers to control lighting in unoccupied areas. Of course, that would be point one. Improving building envelopes, enhancing insulation in walls, roofings, and floors to reduce heating and cooling energy requirements. I don't know. Perhaps there's the options there. That might be relative to a lot of households within, not necessarily limited to UK. So, since it's very expensive for some reason, why is it so expensive? Upgrading windows and doors to improve insulation and reduce drafts. So there was a scheme 2 years ago. I was trying to find similar schemes going on currently, but there isn't currently that I can find. But you might be interested in reaching out to your local council to understand perhaps there's some financial incentives to improving your building and perhaps some of the costs that the council can cover in order for you to reduce your energy consumption and costs. HVAC or heating, ventilation, air conditioning, optimization, regular maintenance and cleaning of HVAC system, upgrading energy efficient HVAC equipment, implementing programmable thermostat and zone heating, cooling. I guess that's one way to improve way of how it could be managed, especially with some of those boilers and insurance, and as well as if it's very old, perhaps there's a more cost-effective way to operating that. Worth noting, emergency efficient appliance and equipment, replacing old appliances and equipment with Energy Star rating. Whatever system they're improving, right? So would be ABC rating, star rating, whatever the case might be, right? So perhaps a more effective way of doing it, right? Perhaps downsizing your car. I don't know if it's 6.1 liter engine. Perhaps downsize your car, downsize your house, improve everything if you can. I guess I don't know. Ensuring proper maintenance of machinery to optimize performance. So then you can reduce your carbon footprint, if anything. I don't know. I don't know. Though myself, I'm very conscious about it, but perhaps what bringing more people's attention in order to save money where it's been wasted unnecessary, right? Perhaps what just summarize and brief all the people on the subject. If you are currently struggling, perhaps there are some more areas where you can improve. Energy management systems. Installing smart meters and energy monitoring systems to track and manage energy usage. Implementing building automation systems to optimize energy consumption. Again, it depends on the scale. If you were to start with your own building, from there you might be more conscious about your overall way of thinking about things, where you perhaps wasting a lot of your time, materials, money. So perhaps you optimizing some of those systems. Renewable energy sources, installing solar panels, wind turbines, or other renewable energy systems. I have reached out to a number of companies about way how it can be done. You might be interested in finding qualified professionals, depending on where you are within UK. Not necessarily there are so many different qualified professionals, depending on the area, right? Some of the people who know what they're doing they are very very busy. So that's just perhaps worth noting, as well as not that many buildings right now have those. Depending again on the area, right? It might be very costly. Perhaps there's a widespread adoption. All the technology might become cheaper as more people begin of looking of ways to improve that, as well as saving some money. So perhaps there's some opportunities there as well worth mentioning. Waste heat recovery, capturing and reusing waste heat generated by industrial processes. Implementation combine heat and power systems to stimulate electricity and heat production. Okay, I don't know if it's cost-effective way of doing it, but there's options there. Water heating efficiency, insulating water heaters and hot water pipes, installing on-demand water heaters or heat pump or water heaters. So there's options there as well. Transportation, promoting the use of electric vehicles. I don't know about those. So it's again, I'm not within in particular this video. I'm sharing a lot of opinions, ideas. Most of the time, I'm doing everything for entertainment and education purposes only. So you need to think, if anything, for yourself about some of the decisions that you are making. Perhaps you need to try it, learn from those decisions that you made. I don't know about EVs. I don't know anything, right? I don't know. So some of the countries and how expensive it can be. 40,000, really? 40,000. Some of the regions might be able to offer the same thing for 10, 15,000, right? But there would be incentives where governments would supplement on it, get you in more depth. So I don't know. I don't know. Stimulate economy, whatever has been going on, right? So I don't know. So I can see some of the benefits, right? Perhaps planting more trees. Those technologies up there, planting more trees, carbon capture. So let's capture more carbon, plant more trees. Vote for me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't have all the answers. But perhaps there's some transportation options as well as perhaps driving a bike, right? Ensuring carpooling, public transportation, and telecommunicating, or perhaps working from home if that's an option that you, you can have access to. Behavior changes and awareness, educating occupants about energy conservation practices. So, if you are a landlord, perhaps, or perhaps a city, and you're looking to improve overall how much taxes and overall money where people are spending within your city. Again, well, for me, I guess people should be more conscious about some of the behaviors that they're doing, as well as I don't know, so a lot of things, right? Encouraging employees and individuals to turn off lights and equipment they're not in use. Perhaps especially if they're leaving for a weekend. I don't know. So I have seen so many different signs. There's no options there. There's uh, usually a lot of problems that happens, right? The person don't have necessary training to turn some of these boilers. People might hurt themselves. Your liability insurance would go up. So you need to allocate one responsible person who should do that. It's, again, what worth noting. There's some potential there where your business can save some money there. Energy efficient building design, incorporating passive solar design, natural ventilation, and daylight in the new construction, using reflective roofing materials to reduce heat absorption, as well as some of those buildings, the way how those buildings are being designed for collecting water as well as collecting sunlight. There's still different ways on how that water can potentially be used. But again, so let's be more optimistic about all the process, but how much it will cost, and some of the people out there who are perhaps trying to make money off all these problems of the business people, right? And perhaps not tens of thousands, right? Regulatory compliance, adhering to energy efficiency regulatory and standards, participating in energy efficiency programs and incentives offering by government and utilities. Perhaps some of the costs can be subsidized different ways, right? Or you might be interested in perhaps changing your supplier if that supplier, perhaps raising prices, right? Perhaps you might be interested in going shopping, if anything, if that's an option, and looking for different suppliers. Some of the suppliers are charging large numbers, hopefully. We all can learn something free market. We can all learn some industrial process optimization, implementing energy efficient technologies in manufacturing and industrial processes, conducting energy audits, and identify and address energy wasting practices if possible. Data centers, virtualizing servers, and optimizing data centers cooling systems, using advanced service and storage technologies to reduce energy consumption if possible. Uh, Agriculture, implementing energy efficiency irrigation systems, using precision agriculture techniques to optimize resource use. Yeah, especially in the water, and particularly in some of the countries where it's struggling with water. Well, and perhaps new rising technologies with vertical farming and aquaponics. Perhaps some of those technologies might take more of the resources, but perhaps they would optimize some of those processes as well. People out there who are interested in learning more, I have published a journal. In this journal, I'm sharing a lot of information with people out there who are interested in developing a habit. Within this journal, I have developed it so for you to develop a habit, you would need to work from cover to cover. So that would be enough time for you to pick up, learn, and improve new habits. And particularly, if anything, one area, right? If you would start with managing your time and focus on there, from there you can focus on different areas that I have identified within this journal. That would be three things to do, as well as different metrics, personal development, time efficiency, more effective dictionary when it comes to finances, motivation, different values. So there's different areas, right? That might be too much for some other people, right? So if you were to begin, if you would begin with in mind to working from cover to cover, would be enough to develop a habit and managing your time. You can find it in the description below, as well as Top Retailers has it. These energy efficiency measures can be applied in residential, commercial, industrial, and agriculture settings, contributing to energy conservation, cost savings, and reduced environmental footprint. These specific measures chosen by independent and the context and have available resources. Feel free to do more research on those areas, as well as reaching out to your local council if you're living within UK. They're always there to offer advice, as well as there are some companies set up by the government who can advise on what some of the incentives where you can improve. I'm not entirely sure about boiler, so there was a scheme there, as well as other schemes might be available a little bit later, especially with some of the energy costs coming into effect, like how expensive everything is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.